Well, hello everybody, welcome back to Great Touch for a Big Lad. The season is up and running. Thank you for watching our predictions. Very well received. No one seems to disagree with any of them at all. But the season begins and we are here. We're going to be here every single week, all being well, and we've done well. We're going to kick off. We're going to go back to the old school as well, actually. So just to say, because I didn't do it last time, and there's a lot of new people watching, which is great. If you're watching on the James Lawrence Allcott channel, then hit the subscribe button. My name is James Lawrence Allcott. You can also find us on iTunes. Just search Great Touch for a Big Lad and you'll be able to find the podcast. As I say, my name is James Allcott. I am a QPR fan season ticket holder. Dom is here. Surname is Lewis.
Is it Sir Dom then?
Not yet. Dominic Lewis. Just want to get it all out there. Dominic Lewis is a Brentford fan and season ticket holder. James Irwin is here. He's a Chelsea fan and season ticket holder. We'll be talking about Chelsea. And Craig, Beresford, Stoke City fan and, of course, season ticket holder. We're going to go back to the old school. So if you have been listening or watching Great Touch for a Big Lad in the past, you're going to like a lot of the new bits, including, Craig, you'll be pleased to hear this, the jingle board's back.
Yes.
This podcast has been going for 7 years.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Which is ridiculous because no one knows about it. But most importantly, the jingle board was a staple back in the day.
It was a prominent feature on it. I don't think we've used it for a good 18 months.
Yeah, because what happened to it?
Well, I had a really old iPad and that died, and so that was the end.
I thought you lost it. I thought you left it.
I may have. But I found it now, which is great news. And everything. So we've got our jingle board back, which is great. Right, let's get into it with another bit that has gone away and is now coming back. The opening question. Okay, Here we go. The opening day. That's in the past now. Those memories are gone.
What a day.
Okay? But I just wanted to have some. I wanted to ask you guys, when I say to you the opening day, what is the instant memory that comes into your mind? Because when I said to myself, what came into my mind wasn't what I expected. I'm happy to go first. Should I go first?
Is it QPR related to your team, or is it?
So I think what happens with the opening question often is that you have your first one, and you go and then you get a second and third. Yeah. And the second and third were QPR. For example, QPR losing their first Premier League game, back in the Premier League game. 4-0 at home to Bolton Wanderers. Fabrice Mwamba scoring his only goal for Bolton. Clint Hill getting sent off. But the actual thing, the instant opening day memory was Ravanelli. Ravanelli scoring a hat-trick against Liverpool. And he was one of those, it was when there was sort of, the foreign players were sort of starting to come and the Italian ones were really exciting. Like Chelsea had quite a few of them. But Ravanelli was just turned up at Middlesbrough just after winning the Champions League with Juventus, and then all of a sudden, I remember seeing on the back pages him with the celebration, which is now
it's iconic.
Is that opening day?
It's Ravanelli, isn't it?
Well, he'd always done it in his career.
He'd done it before, isn't he? Yeah.
But the fact that that happened, that was a bit like Klinsmann a couple of years before, where everyone started doing it after that. And now, I feel about celebrations. I feel like they've gone down the path.
That was opening day. Klinsmann's opening day, wasn't it, against Sheffield Wednesday?
I think it was the first home game.
Was it?
Yeah.
So is your memory specifically Ravanelli scoring the first day, or just him being around when the Premiership?
I think it was honestly it was the back page of a newspaper with him with the shirt over his head. But yeah, he got a hat-trick against Liverpool opening day at the Riverside, and Liverpool had that cream kit.
Oh yeah. I'll be interested to know if all of our kind of first memories of the opening day are all from the same period, because mine's similar, as in it's mid-90s, mid to late 90s. So I wonder if everyone else is like that. Mine is, I think I've spoken about this in the podcast years and years ago, but mine is Frank the Bullet Sinclair rampaging down the right wing away against Coventry, cutting in and then blasting a shot into the bottom right hand corner, and then clearly not knowing how to celebrate, runs away, pulls his trousers down and just waddles.
What?
And that's it.
Imagine if it was offside.
Pulls his shorts down. But he doesn't know what he's doing. He just pulls his shorts down and just waddles. He's still got his pants on.
I missed this. I've not seen this.
It's 97, 98, I think it was.
Do you have some rascal white briefs?
Yeah. Proper white briefs. But I just remember seeing
cubes drifting out.
I can't remember. I was. It was away against Coventry, so I wasn't at the game. But I remember listening to it at the beach in Devon, and then that evening watching Match of the Day and seeing it, and just with my dad and just laughing, Because he clearly didn't know what to do.
Have you two seen this?
I don't think I have.
What is it? Because we watch a lot of football.
I'm confused whether I've seen it or whether it's in my memory from how many times you told me.
No, I'm just thinking.
I don't think I've spoken about that.
No, I mean in the past.
I'm still thinking. I've got visions of it purely from your description. Or am I imagining that? Did that happen?
It was a perfect sunny day. I remember wearing a yellow kit.
Why?
And he looks good.
Oh, the yellow autoglass kit.
Yeah, that kit.
Is that like little bits of blue, like sky blue?
No. It's completely yellow. That one.
A few yellow ones along the way.
Yeah.
But it's that sticks in my mind.
Oh, we got it. These nuts. Oh right.
You couldn't quite see them, but
no. Craigie, what you got?
My one is. I've struggled with this one a lot, but it's a Stoke one. It's a fairly recent one, I suppose, compared to these two. And it was our first ever game in the Premiership after about 15, 16 years of my life not being in the Premiership. It was big buzz. Is
it sad?
You even said that you were probably going to have that.
It did end sad. Because we got relegated 10 years later, but at that stage it was fine.
Enjoy the moment.
Do that was the.
Alright, yeah, well, I'm still getting used to it.
But anyway, I remember we all kind of, because I think we got like 2,500 tickets, we'd not been in the top flight for 28 years or that, so it's a huge amount of tickets. We had to queue up at like 4 a.m. at the ground to get a ticket, and it was a big deal. We got there 3-0 down at half time, and it's like, oh shit. Paddy Power paid out on that day for Stoke relegated.
What?
Really? Paid out after the first game. Ooh. And Stoke fans ever since had a chip on the shoulders.
You want money then?
Yeah. Unfortunately, just took a load on Stoke about.
Yeah.
But that's a memory that kind of it ended well. But I just thought we've been waiting so long to get to the promised land, and it felt like it was over after 45 minutes. It was the season after Derby got 11 points as well.
Who were you playing?
That's alright, so you petrified.
Bolton away. It wasn't great.
It was Bolton away.
We got absolutely trounced. Oh right, this is well hard. We were going down, aren't we?
Back in the glory days for Bolton.
It was actually. I remember them singing to us, ironically, because they got relegated. Fuck off to the Championship.
Well, yeah.
We did eventually.
Yeah.
You're not allowed.
I wish
they went first and then carried on.
You're not allowed to have a go at Bolton.
No.
Why?
No.
Them's the rules.
They got their
wish.
They
got no money. Because they got no money.
Football Ventures though.
Football Ventures sounds like a scam, doesn't it? Does sound like a scam.
Think of a name.
Really?
Football Ventures.
yeah. Well, so honestly, we will sell to you anyway. That's again. We're joking. I hope. Of course, we totally hope that Bolton fight. Fine.
Football rescue team.
But Football Ventures.
One.
It doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah, no, not for me.
But what do you think, Greg?
Well, to be honest, I'm trying to
catch
up with you guys. I've missed something there.
Basically, but it looks like Bolton are going to be able to be sold. The Bassini court is either injunction or whatever. It's been stopping the sale of it, but that's been adjourned. So Football Ventures can now buy Bolton.
I get it now. I get the
I'm just nervous about the name.
Just some shifty salesman.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Just one bloke.
Dom, opening day, instant memories.
I have a few. I mean, the first one I immediately think of is that we lost away to Bury. I don't know if we can talk about Bury because they're in trouble as well. But we lost away at Bury, and then we went on to win the league. Yeah, so that sticks in my mind that don't worry, panic if you lose your opening game.
Do you know, that just reminded me of one that we did together. We went to Bury away, and then we did Wigan, Chelsea as well. We did a joint weekend.
That was opening day as well.
That was.
But that's a different opening day, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And then the other one that immediately springs to mind is David Beckham, when he pinged one from the halfway line.
Career-changing goal, and it's just a hoof, innit?
Yeah.
But is that skillful? Is that goal skillful?
It's a hoof he meant.
Yeah, but so it's a goal kick.
Are you serious? You gotta be serious.
He meant that, didn't he?
What do you mean? Yeah, he meant it.
Well, it's a hoof, isn't it?
You love him.
It's a shot on goal.
He's looked up.
That's great. But the goalkeeper did that.
I still think he's joking.
I'm not dead serious.
It's not a hoof, it's
I don't
a
think
shot.
it's a great goal. I don't think it's that great a goal.
Well, it is.
He's just kicked the ball really far and straight, isn't he?
Yeah.
Quickly.
But he's looked up and done that, isn't he?
Right, so no, I get the vision. I think it's great vision, sure. Yeah. But it's not that impressive.
It's vision and execution, isn't it?
Fair enough. Other people have done it.
You can't just see it and then not do it. It's vision and execution.
Do you know what would happen? That goal will be in like the top 100 Premier League goals. It shouldn't be.
Sure, that's more of a fair comment.
He scored from the halfway line though.
I think he should be.
But it's just a kick, isn't it?
Okay, in that case,
my point is, for it to change his entire career, it really was a kind of launch pad for him. And obviously that's backed up by loads of great performances. But he just whacks the ball. If a Wimbledon player does that, they go, was that a pass?
But you can say about any guy, Tony Yeboah, he just whacked the ball.
Exactly, that's my point.
There's different kind of technique. He's got the ball as long as he wants. He's got the ball as long as he wants.
Well, why isn't that
he's on the wind up.
The ball's rolling. I'm not.
So what's it? So
you're right. There's people.
What's the cut-off point? So are you whacking it post 35 yards then? When's it in the?
When's it acceptable?
When's
to
it the
whack
reason that is a good long range effort for you?
I think it's like you've got to be under a bit of pressure. You've got to really whack it in the top corner.
Also depends how far is the goalie off his line.
That's gone in the middle of the goal.
But everyone should be doing it then, if it's that easy.
No, it's opportunistic. That's great, but that's not real skill, is it?
You know the one Rooney did, where it was almost like a bit of a half volley. Is that better?
For you?
Is that one better?
Yeah, it's definitely.
Because of the technique.
Yeah. Although half volleys are easy to get the distance.
That's true. I wouldn't worry about that.
Yeah.
So next week we'll have a bit where you're going to rate all halfway line goals.
Okay, this is perfect. In the comments, name me a goal that you're not sure if it's better or worse than the Beckham goal, and I'll tell you if it's better. I'll let you know.
Judge you.
Judge you. Is it better than the Beckham goal? Because for me, that goal is 7 out of 10.
You love Beckham as well. I'm surprised.
Like a team goal's better.
Do you think his goal against
Greece? A free
kick's
better? You've got to get it over the wall.
Do you think his goal against Greece in the World Cup qualifiers better?
Yeah.
How though?
Because the pressure of it.
No pressure on it. No defenders around it.
Little bit of pressure.
But you've got a load of people in the way, specifically knowing he's about to shoot, and they still couldn't stop it.
Mm.
That's the difference.
And that's the difference. But that wasn't actually my one.
I'm sorry. No, don't you yet.
But yeah, so essentially, those are the ones that they're the ones that immediately come to mind. But the one that I have the most memories from and nostalgic feel to was it's Chelsea goal actually. It's
Can I guess it? Poirier.
Yeah.
Poirier, Sunderland, and was that when they did the photo? You know the one where they did the photo.
I'm not sure about the celebration.
Doing that then.
That
might be in the season before.
Yeah, I think it was.
But I remember doing like the old fantasy football where you cut out everything, and I had him in the team, and I sent out the in the post, and you get the thing back.
You're blowing people's minds.
And blowing people's minds. You used to literally cut them out, and you had to send it in, and if you want to make a transfer, you'd have to post it out.
Yeah, that's mental.
It's like deadline day. You have to make sure you do it in time.
Did you put them in after that?
I put it in before that, and then and he stepped up on match of the day. I hadn't actually seen the game. I just heard enough bits and pieces on the radio at the score lines. And I watched Match of the Day because back then you didn't bloody you only know if you watched.
So you didn't know the score and you watched it.
I think I knew the score, but I didn't know who scored. And then I saw that goal, amazing.
The pass from Zola goes under the radar. It's ridiculous how he picks him out like running onto it.
He's done it right opening day, hasn't he?
Is that
what was his name? You said. And
well,
we had one with.
Maybe we should go to the.
We'll get to that in a second. Mario Stanic did a bit of beauty as well.
Yeah, we never saw him again.
Yeah.
That was it.
Bad injury.
Yeah, bad injury. Yeah. Right, shall we do it? Weekend roundup time. I went to QPR for the first time. Craig Stokes is his first away game. What did you do? You two play football golf, didn't you?
Yeah, play football golf and golf.
Yeah.
So we go straight into Premier League? Because you kind of touched it before. There's the second week of the season is a week of 100% unadulterated delusion. Whichever way you want to go, you can go. It's going to be a disaster. It's not going to be a disaster, or just keep calm. It's going to be fine. You are deluded because there's just not enough information for you to really understand how good your team is. For example, QPR on 4 points. We beat Stoke last week. Played really well against Huddersfield. Beat Bristol City in the League Cup. My delusion is really bursting out of my throat.
You're going to win the league.
You're going to win
in your head.
You've got to enjoy these moments.
I don't know what, but something is happening.
Yeah.
In it, the magic is starting to happen. 2 weeks time, it's like
Didn't this happen last season though?
Yeah.
You had a good start. Yeah.
But on the other side of that, you've got Chelsea.
Yeah.
in depth.
You'll probably enjoy this part.
I'll tell you what. Before we get that, what I've got here is I've got a QPR update just to say we're going to win the league. Buzzing, playing great football, walk the Warburton way. Domino's as a Brentford fan.
Very nice.
Tapping it about, although we don't seem to have a plan B.
No.
Anyway,
no,
it's not important.
Worry about that later.
Yeah. Stoke, the other side of the coin, maybe.
Yeah, but
You actually said, he said to me on Saturday night over a party, it was a joke initially, but we might go down.
No.
It's
that's the
confidence.
No, but
there is the other side.
It still is a joke. But you know when you've been in shocking form for so long, the old cliche, you don't know where a win or a goal's coming from. It just looks like
We won last night.
we did win last night against Wigan in the cup.
Came from a corner.
League Cup, innit?
Yeah, it was from a cup. So we're not going down, but we can't get going. We just can't get going since relegation. Still.
Okay.
Big game on Saturday against Derby.
So what we're going to do in the podcast is we're going to do some knee-jerk predictions.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I said, just like Man City, like the whole thing about like that opening day and the delusion. Man City and Liverpool, you're hoping for like one of them struggle a bit. Go on, just struggle a little bit.
Well, there's a
Just make
tiny
it interesting.
narrative. A tiny narrative is being pushed that Norwich created a lot against Liverpool's defence, considering they're meant to be the second favourites, and I think a lot of media jumping on that. So Liverpool.
I didn't watch the second half, and apparently that's when they pressed on, didn't they?
I was
Liverpool probably took their foot off the gas. They've fallen up at half time.
I just think the press are looking for any little angle to go, oh, dear, they have slits. And that was the only one they could kind of find, I felt.
Well, the thing I would say with that is we've got other pet hates, but here's one quickly from me: is the people going, you're an idiot, you're stupid, Norwich, for having a go. Like that is one. First of all, there's a reason why people are getting a little bit bored of certain games, because you see like 80% possession, and it's because the opposition are having that negative mindset of like, well, there's no way we can beat this team. Mm-hmm. That's not sport. That's not football. That's not what we want to watch. So people saying that Norwich were naive, that game could have been really different. First of all, you've got Grant Hanley, who kicked the ball into his own goal. That was embarrassing.
Great choice, my dream team, right?
On
the bench, though. He's cheap.
But if you put him in... Sorry, if he doesn't do that after 8 minutes, Norwich, they showed the confidence to give it a go. Yes, they probably would have lost the game, but it's like heavyweight boxing. The analogy I had, mate, was if Andy Ruiz just went to go, there's no chance here. This is Andy Joshua. I've got no chance. I'm just gonna be careful. Then those surprises don't happen. As much as you're going to limit the damage, you're also limiting the opportunity for you to go and win that game and create an upset.
Confidence? I mean, the box analogy doesn't work because that's one-off. Norwich.
But this is a one-off.
But Norwich have got a season.
Individually.
They've got a season.
But they won't play that way against other teams, though, will they?
If you get battered, and there's no reason they couldn't have got battered 6-7 if Liverpool had
carried on.
So then what's that do for you?
So what about Brighton last season when they weren't playing any kind of passing football, and so then you get to a point where against those teams, okay, you lose 2-0, but then against the teams where you need to go and beat them at home, you need to go and put on a show, you need to be confident and be able to pass the ball about.
It's the point.
You haven't got that confidence.
You choose your battles then.
I think it's you play to your strengths, because Norwich City they cannot defend. And no disrespect, but they did bloody well last year. But even last year in the Championship they couldn't defend. Yeah. So you play to your strengths, you try and do that. And I think if they tried to defend against Liverpool, they definitely would have lost. Probably slightly to your point. But I think that if they continue to do that, they will win Premier League games. The reason not that many, but they will win them.
Yeah, the reason I used that analogy is because Gary Neville used a sort of similar one. He said, if you're going to play that way, when you land, you better really land. And there was a moment that, first of all, the own goal is an absolute killer 8 minutes into a season away from home at Anfield. But then about a couple of minutes after that, Pookie did some trickery and it was decent, and he looked good. I was surprised by it. He looked very good, and he laid the ball off to, I think it was Stiepermann.
It was Stiepermann.
And he's got a brilliant chance there to score. So when you get that moment, you've got to take it. It's as simple as that. Yeah. But that Norwich side can go into that first game at home knowing how to play, not feeling tentative. For me, it's a why not, and I don't understand why anyone's saying that it's stupid in any way.
No, I agree.
I don't think it is stupid.
And I think it's defeatist I understand what you're saying, pick and choose your battles, but it's defeatist.
You're setting yourself up to lose. You're setting yourself up to lose before you've even started, aren't you?
What, really? That game?
No, not the other way.
I think
you're going into a game thinking I can't win this. So,
but the only point I disagree on with that is that if if you are a defensive-minded team who would get like Cardiff, for example, who it's almost good practice.
But Norwich aren't.
Like, can you do it? That's why I'm saying. I think you played to strengths.
I get it. Yeah, that's a good point. Liverpool also got the win. Looked very classy in terms of the finishing and confident. Man City as well, similar thing. You're hoping that the West Ham made good signings. You're quite excited by that. They're at home. They did well at home last season.
Do you not think that's such like? When I saw I've seen the highlights since, but when I saw the result, my soul just drops down.
Why? Yeah,
because West Ham aren't shit.
No,
Apparently,
I didn't watch the game because we were out from you guys, but we were golfing. Apparently, I've got a few West Ham fans at work, and they said that there were times when they looked all right. It's just Man City are devastating going forward, just absolutely devastating and getting behind pretty much every time. Sterling just is. How he's improved as a player in the last 2 to 3 years is crazy.
This is my point, though. I think, and again, when you watch Man City Watford in the FA Cup, you look at it and you go, Watford, they were literally for 25 minutes, and that first part is crucial.
That one-on-one,
but they had that one-on-one, but they were hanging on. They were hanging on. So why didn't you just go? Why don't we see if we can land the first goal, and then that could change a lot of stuff. And I do hope. Because I think the quality of player in the league is so good. I do hope that people they do the Norwich thing and give it a go. Try and take on these teams.
I think you have to now. I think the mentality for teams like Man City for so long has been sit back and defend, but it is getting to the point where it's almost pointless. You're going to lose anyway. You need to just roll all your eggs into one basket and just go for it, and you never know.
Well, is this the knee-jerk reaction that the media, and probably quite rightly, that Liverpool and Man City are going to run away with it again? I think everyone...
Man City, I'm all over that. I've never been so convinced of a league title winners ever.
I mean, if we're looking at the games, it's not Liverpool Man City anymore, is it? It's a three.
There's a 3-horse race now. There's another team in there, isn't there?
Well, it did look like it for 80 minutes of.
Are we talking about the same game?
That
right,
game.
The scoreline never lies.
What?
Unless it does lie. But sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it doesn't.
I was actually talking about Spurs.
Where are we going here?
Man United, of course. Back on the road to success.
On the window.
Battering. I repeat, battering Chelsea 4-0 at home. Let's talk about United first. The signings, Maguire, all of that.
Yeah.
Were you impressed?
Yeah, I mean, you can't not be.
Yeah.
Was I impressed on the day, or just generally by the signings?
Oh well, you've only got one game to go by, so the game itself.
The game itself, I thought they did okay. I thought Harry Maguire got a little bit too much praise in the game. I thought they're better Man United players on a day like Pogba.
That's the first knee-jerk reaction of the league of the season. It's
most interceptions, most blocks, most tackles.
Yeah, but give it to Rashford.
Yeah. I thought Pogba, to be honest, I thought Pogba was the better
he was a bit quiet in midfield for a good amount of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, he was good though.
He was good. I thought he was very good.
I think he was Man United's best player.
I thought Lindelof was alright, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
I thought Lindelof did really well.
I'll Bissaka, not Bissica, as I said.
You're happy for that. Wan-Bissaka.
That was a bit like your what was the manager?
Moyes.
David Moyes.
That was years ago.
David Moyes. Bissaka, I thought was their best player.
I can see where you're coming from. I thought he played really well.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
It was good.
My feelings on the game were, I watching the first half, I thought this is rubbish. The quality.
Did you not watch Newcastle Arsenal?
No, I didn't see that.
Wow.
Right, the quality was low. Yeah. But that game, I remember thinking, I thought it would be a bit more fluent than this. There was a lot of giving away the ball. There was a lot of mistakes. A lot of nervous energy there, and I think that helped Chelsea a little bit.
In the end.
No, not in the end.
Four goals from 4 mistakes.
Yeah.
I think if we're going to go on to it, I really do think that massively flatters Man United. Doesn't necessarily paper over the cracks, but I think it's burying the head slightly a little bit. Because I think Chelsea, up until 60-65, I'd argue should have been winning, maybe.
Oh, I'll be biased and say I thought at half time we probably should have been at least drawing, if not winning.
Yeah.
We just can't. And I said this on last week's podcast and the predictions. I'm just really worried about us scoring goals, and that was proven.
Yeah,
I think on the weekend.
We
hit the post a couple of times. But we didn't have anyone that was kind of storming forwards and was there to finish off the balls across the front of front of goal. I think that's
so in terms of
going to struggle.
This is my point: is that you've got that one game that really matters. You can look at pre-season a little bit, but that game in its in isolation, you're going to naturally start to kind of go and make these conclusions. But having watched it, it's staying as level as possible. How big a job has Lampard got here? What did you see there and go, okay, right, this is a problem or that's a problem?
I saw a lot of positives. I think at least certainly in the first 15 minutes, but throughout the game. But there was also a lot of negatives. I think I've already said we look like we're going to struggle to score goals. But there's
such pressure on either of them.
Yeah,
being a Chelsea forward's difficult on its own, but Abraham then getting picked, that hitting the post is such a moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because if that goes in after what was it, like a minute, then
probably,
you go, it's the right decision. Yes, you're good enough.
Confidence,
that's a great finish. Confidence flows.
Yeah. For him, to defend. For us as a team, that would have been huge. But I think particularly for him, that would have been, as an individual, that would have been big as well. Because there's a lot of question marks over him this season, whether he should have started that game. I would have personally played Giroud from an experience point of view, but
I think it's really naive. He went for Mount and Abraham.
I agree with Mount.
Old Trafford.
Giroud's
on the bench.
Don't necessarily start.
But then I guess like you're like centimeters from that being a different narrative of saying he's picked one out from the top corner.
Even if
I said the same thing as you. Would Giroud have scored?
I don't know. It's
would he
have been there? You don't know. I think it's up against Maguire. I would have played Giroud from a physicality point of view. Abraham's not small, but he lacks the experience. So I would have played him. The other thing as well, like I said, all our goals came from mistakes. Mostly, defensively, I'm concerned. You needed a leader in there. You needed some experience. David Luiz would have been perfect. I was disappointed with that sale last week.
You were vocal on that last week, weren't you?
Yeah, I'm disappointed with that, but I'll say, in Frank we trust with this. He clearly didn't necessarily want to start with him every game, so he's kind of pushed that move through. So
because I've got a tweet here from @Tom Sato who says, "Is Frank Lampard a fraud or is he a genius for securing a 7-figure salary job despite little to no experience or success in the field? His only reference on his job application being assorted Chelsea fans saying, he does have a great football mind."
You can say the same about Solskjaer.
Yeah. I think people could call...
I don't know what did he do.
He's won stuff.
Norway. Did he Norway, did he, Solskjaer?
He won the league once.
And got relegated with Cardiff.
Yeah.
I think one thing that people often forget is that some people have to go through interview processes. This wasn't something going, he's done well, he's a Chelsea legend. He would have had to be. He would have had to sit down. Obviously, it helps that he's a Chelsea legend. That it probably would have. It probably with the kids situation and Jody Morris coming on board, it probably is a natural fit and does help. But he would have had to sit in front of very senior people at Chelsea and explain why he got the job.
Yeah, we've done this before on the podcast years ago.
The interview.
We should do that.
We've all done interviews before and for our own respective jobs. It's quite, as you expect. But what's going on with football manager ones? It can't be the normal take a seat. Do you want to
I think a lot of people do
a
lot of people do PowerPoints, don't they? They put forward the whole but it's almost redundant, though, isn't it? And in my third year, it's like rubbish. You better win after 7 months, or you're out.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
I care about years. I'm talking months.
Yeah. I think, joking aside, I thought Chelsea were good. When I looked at the stats, they had 18 shots.
Yeah,
that's a lot. And watching the first half in particular, Barkley's got to score. He's got to shoot from about 7 yards out. Emerson's got to score as well. These are free shots pretty much from about 7 yards out.
Yeah,
Abraham, that's different. But then you're 2-0 up, and it's a totally different.
We had. I wouldn't call them all. They weren't odds-on chances, but they were. They're more than half chances. Yeah. So we should have. You looked at the stats when it comes to expected goals and take the penalty away.
It's very even.
Very even. So look, it's disappointing because we lost 4-0. On the face of it, it wasn't a 4-0. For me, it wasn't a 4-0. It says that on paper.
I think university people would say that it wasn't a 4-0.
It wasn't.
Yeah. So look, there's things that are a concern. We've got Rudiger coming back, which is massive.
Yeah.
Rudiger
and Kante,
Willian, Kante.
It's goals though, isn't it?
It's
goals.
As well.
Yeah, Loftus-Cheek, Hudson-Odoi when he comes back, they're slightly longer term.
And they're not easy games, isn't it? I mean, the United at any point away from home is going to be hard.
Yeah, and to be fair, get that one out of the way. I was kind of expecting us to lose anyway. Maybe not 4-0, but...
We'll get onto the fixtures in a bit, but I think the fixture's great for Chelsea in terms of understanding where you're at.
Yeah.
Probably not if you're a Chelsea fan, you'd like someone who's taking a pace. You'd like Watford at home.
We'll see it again tonight. We've got Liverpool in 45 minutes. That would be interesting. And then Leicester at home on Sunday. I know you said you talk about the fixtures, but I'm really excited about that game because it's Frank's first home game. But tough game. Leicester a good side.
They'll be the Leicester fans will be on that, won't they? If they are able to get a win. Right, let's do pet hates. Dom.
So I mean, mine's really niche.
That's fine. So just to explain, obviously, pet hate is something we've been doing this literally every single podcast for 7 years. It's something that annoys you about the game, which says a lot about us. Is that we've always had at least one. Often, I think we did a whole podcast once, which was just.
We could each one we could.
Yeah.
Do the best of one time.
Yeah. I'll tell you, hit the like button. If we get 1,000 likes, then we'll do a whole podcast just on things we hate.
We can look back at the archives.
Dom, we're going with me.
Mine is to do with football terracing and standing on the football terracing.
Intrigued.
Because you have it. I mean, I guess you probably have it at cinemas as well. But like when you stand up, it's different because you're naturally different heights to everybody. And somebody behind tapped me on the shoulder yesterday at Brentford versus Cambridge, and said, "Do you mind standing slightly to the left?"
What a load of shit.
Because
it rammed?
It was actually quite busy because anyway. But they said, "Do you mind standing to the left so my son can see?" And I was quite near the back of the terrace, so where all the tall people stand. And if I move left, I'm going to have my view blocked.
Yeah.
So I was like, no.
I
was like, I'm sorry, I won't see. But yeah, that's when you start feeling, and then you start edging a little bit so they can see.
Yeah.
And then I literally did that, and I sort of semi-stood my ground, semi-moved, and then a bloody massive bloke stood in front of me. So I was thinking in my head, maybe I should move forward now.
You should tap him on the shoulder.
But then, it's like this Russian doll thing. Like, if you're small, you should stand at the front. That's the point.
That's the
That's the point. Just be general
kind of get
football courtesy rather than...
Yeah, he has no right. You have no right to ask somebody to move when on a terrace if it's blocking your view.
I agree.
It's less. You can, if you're small, you can go at the back, but you have to deal with the consequences of that.
Yeah.
But if you're tall, you really shouldn't be at the front.
Yeah,
that's It's like festivals. Don't go. I don't think you should really be at the front. I had that once. I watched Stevie Wonder. Bloke, he's about 6'7", massive afro. Like literally just before the.
Where's he going to go? All the way at the back.
Exactly.
As long as it's behind me.
Just cut it off.
Yeah.
I guess the one in more modern day football terms, because terraces don't really exist that much, but in away games when someone stands at the front and people are going, "Excuse me," who's right there? Should someone just move or should
everyone
they
stand?
Yeah.
It's such a pain in the arse away games. You know when there's that. The stewards are trying to sit everyone down. It's like spinning plates. They sit a little cluster down.
What's that game like? When you got
whack-a-mole.
Yeah,
you can't win. It's just like just fuck off and leave us alone. Let us stand up because this is gonna happen all game. You're annoying people. People starting to get a bit wound up. It's gonna kick off. Go away.
That's the weird thing as well. Is that all the people that want to stand up, they all congregate at the back of the stand. Why is it the back of the stand?
Probably out of courtesy.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Also, your voice travels, isn't it?
Maybe.
So over everybody.
Better view.
Get it going.
Better view as well.
This went over my head. Save standing at Molyneux. When did that happen?
Didn't know that.
Have they got that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know.
That last season?
No, well, it's installed now for this season. I don't know how they use it. I don't know if it's an anticipation for when the law changes, but I thought that had been like all over the press. And I just saw a thing on Twitter, like Iran fans, and this looks great. So standing.
Good ground them on there.
I do like it.
Quick pet hate.
I can find it.
Went to QPR, first game, brilliant. Football turn on, very quickly actually. And the goal goes in.
Just to go.
And I tell you what, the one joy of the championship is there is no VAR.
Yeah, and long may that continue.
I haven't had that yet. I went to Brentford with you and they didn't score.
Yeah,
Chelsea.
I'm wary of getting into it too much on the
Sorry, mate.
Scored on.
Sorry, mate.
I haven't seen a score this season.
Yeah, you scored last night.
Yeah. Oh, and sorry, another quick football tale. We were passing the ball about really well, and so the people that I've been sat with, we've been sat there for probably about 15 years now. It's all the same guys, and you get there. Good to see it. Good to see it. You go round.
How was your summer? How was your summer?
Good summer. And do you know what I knew was going to happen? Because I thought the Stoke game had gone well and we'd passed the ball about really well. And then this game, first 10 minutes, we were like tapping it about and it was all looking good. I'm sort of on the corner of our kind of group of people that have kind of become mates. And there was a bit where we played a good bit of football and then went for a corner about 10 minutes in. And the two guys in front of me who were very optimistic, they went like this. They went and didn't wanted to go. Tell you what, boys, what's so going on here? Yeah. But what I really loved was they went. I saw him do it. The guy's probably about 60. He went.
Back to the game. Yourself in check.
Not this early. Brilliant.
I've been here before.
But the same bloke gave my pet hey, and he went. He went. I'm not being funny. £5.35 for a bottle of beer.
$5.35.
$5.35.
What beer is it? What beer is it?
Little rubbish Carlsberg.
Yeah.
$5.35. That's outrageous.
They don't do pints.
It's not.
What?
Yeah.
Did you drink at half time?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's too much effort.
It depends. Like last night, I had a drink at half time because there was less of a queue. Easy. But if otherwise, yeah.
It's impossible. You miss too much of the game. I don't want to miss any of it.
If they said one day, right, we're going to expand half time to 20 minutes just to get that pint in, would you be up for that? Because I think that's just right. I think 50 minutes is just not enough to get a pint in.
Oh, yeah,
20 minutes.
bottle.
Do you know what I think they're going to do? Like with QPR, you've got your season ticket is actually a debit card if you want it to be, if you sign it up. Mm-hmm. I reckon at some point there'll be an app where you order your drink to pick up at half time.
They do that in Chelsea already.
Do they?
You can order tokens and you just go on. You just hand the tokens over.
Yeah, it's like in America. You can order beers and pizza to your seat.
Yeah, did that when I was at the Euro 2016.
Hot dogs.
You text what you want and they come and bring you food and your beer to your seat. It's too much, though, isn't it?
It's too much.
Quickly going to jump on the back pet eggs whilst we're here. Because I was at Charlton on Saturday, half-time pint job, and for one reason we had one. I went to the concourse a bit and I was half contemplating. I thought, I'll see how the queue is. Obviously, get there and it's just absolute ram. There's no coordination with the queue. There's no nice little snow queue. It's just like, it's just a bundle.
I don't know. It's too much stress.
Yeah.
Let's get involved.
And I was watching the servers, and I don't know what it is about football grounds where they don't know how to pour pints, or at least coordinate the pouring of pints. And so one bloke goes up and goes, a pint of beer, please. And go, yeah, okay. So the server turns round.
Yeah.
Come on, what do you mean? There's 2,000 people in there.
Why aren't they already here?
Yeah.
You saw us come in.
Have them ready. Have 1,000 ready. And you make money. We'll be able to...
Have 1,000 ready. Yeah.
No.
They should do an honesty policy. Just line all the beers out and just go and put your money down. You can take one.
And it's like some 14-year-old kid, isn't it?
Yeah.
And like Guinness will
getting grief as well.
Oh, that was I love that one. I went to Millwall Way and the long queue. Finally getting near the front. Woman got a Caffrey's or something. She goes back. And then she comes up, Miles goes, sorry, excuse me. And I'm like, just about to finally order. She goes, it's all funny. And the woman goes, yeah, it'll settle down.
Enjoying half time.
Anyway,
don't serve Caffrey because that will take you down.
Yeah, good point.
Oh god, I'll get going here.
Right, here we go. Time is ticking away. Premier League promises. So this is something that will definitely happen this season in the Premier League. I've got two. One is actually just a cheeky FA Cup promise. And then a Premier League promise. So my Premier League promise is this. Dean Saunders will trend at least 10 times on Twitter this Premier League season. It's one of the weirdest things. It's this new phenomenon that I keep seeing every time I go on my phone for Twitter. Every morning there's like, it's Trump or Brexit or whatever, and you've got Dean Saunders there. Most mornings. I don't know what it is.
Why?
He's on TalkSport in the morning, and it seems to say something that, I presume it's that, Dom. Dean Saunders has done this great article in the New York Times. In fact, he's like being lippy on TalkSport. But it's happened like 3 or 4 times now, and I am promising you that. Just if you see Dean Saunders, don't worry, nothing bad's happened. he's just said something slightly.
Whenever I think Dean Saunders, I think his throw-in goal. That's immediately
so
what comes to
mind. My quick FA Cup promise, just to give you something a little bit different, I wrote it down actually. So I can promise that a commentator will put us all straight with regards to the magic of the FA Cup, supposedly having been lost, but now being found in the mould of a lower league side beating a team in a higher division, thus justifying the competition. That would definitely happen. 100%. Dom, what's your Premier League promise for the season?
My Premier League promise is that Nacho Monreal will pass the ball to Guendouzi, thinking he's passed it to David
Luiz. I was thinking something about that.
But when you say anything, it's fine, isn't it? Just keep it quiet.
I guarantee you'll do it.
That's quality. Yeah.
Just play it inside.
I guess we're going to have to play a little bit higher up just to stop the confusion.
Yeah,
they're going to be playing really close to each other, aren't they?
Yeah.
That is going to be very confusing.
That could hurt offsides, couldn't it? Because you go, I thought I was in line with you, and he's not.
Because of the hair.
Yeah. Will that happen? Can that happen? Hair. Yeah. Does hair come into it with the offside?
Mate, all the various. Oh yeah.
Mine's related.
It's your shoulder, isn't it?
Mine's related to that. Mine's VAR related. It's a little bit generic, I guess, but absolute guarantee that 1 week a manager will say VAR is killing the game, and the following week he'll be fist punching after celebrating the fact that a goal was disallowed.
Let's see if we can find that, like a discrepancy one way or the other.
Guarantee. I bet it's Guardiola.
He's been quite consistent. He's been quite consistent.
Yeah,
saying how it's good for the game.
Yeah, but
I bet there will be one that does it.
So what we should do throughout the season, like just so we don't bore people, but a very quick poll: you still with it or are you against it? I'm currently against it.
I'm with it. If you change it, if you make it, I'm against it how it currently is.
Okay.
It hasn't offended me yet, but I'm generally against it.
Okay.
Massively against it.
Okay, right. Let us know in the comments below. Are you against it or are you for it? Craigie, what's your...
I mean, it's already started, but I'm already getting sick of it. Graham Potter's going to be lauded as...
Do you hate Graham Potter?
It's the hype. I don't know quite... Yeah, he'd be great in Sweden. Swansea, I'm not convinced the job. But he's getting this perception that he's literally the next Guardiola, like from nowhere. Punter, yeah. You know,
it's not from nowhere, Craig. He's done from nowhere.
Harry Potter's from nowhere.
Game 1-0.
One game. Yes. Go. So what was so good they did last year, you think?
Well, so
this reputation, where is it truly got? Sweden fine, but in English football, but it's in English football. Tell me where this reputation's come from.
In English football, what is it? So it has to be
a decent job.
Very good opportunity, but he comes in first year in English football. Team relegated to the Prem, finished mid-table. Mm-hmm. Next thing we know, he's phenomenal. He's not like what he's doing.
Watch out! This leads on beautifully.
They weren't knocking on the automatic places. They weren't even knocking on the playoff doors. Why? I'm not saying he's even shit. That's not my point. I just don't get the hype. I'm just a bit confused.
Give it more time.
Hype. If he goes on to great, that's fine. Whatever.
I think we have a few Brighton fans.
Yeah,
because a lot of people kind of called us out, and rightly so, because I think you're judging them on that Chris Hughton team, and it's not that Chris Hughton team, and there has been a lot of changes. And I was chatting to a guy the other day, and he said that they really are playing totally different. And I think they made a couple. That's the other thing as well. Our predictions came out before deadline day. Aaron Moy and Malpai, huge signings. But this does lead on brilliantly to knee-jerk Premier League predictions. So from the opening day, what are your knee-jerk Premier League predictions? Things that are definitely going to happen. Mine, Brighton to finish 7th. It's happening. They're playing, they're popping the ball about. Malpai's brilliant up front. They're going to do bits. I'm about the Potter revolution. Brighton are my Premier League team this season, and they're going to do bits. They're going to finish 7th. It's going to be amazing.
That was very similar to mine. Mine was they're going to stay up.
Oh, no,
just based on a 3-0.
Did you have them going?
I didn't go down. Yeah.
I was thinking Burnley going to come 6th after having them going down.
3-0.
Yeah. Absolutely destroyed it away against Southampton.
Yeah. So that's your knee-jerk Premier League prediction? Yeah, Brighton 7th. 7th? Yeah, Potter's brilliant, mate.
He's good.
Don't you know?
He's good. That's going to get misinterpreted now. I'm not saying he's a bad man. I just don't get.
No, don't worry.
It's the press. It's the press.
Generally,
chill out on Potter. Press on Potter. Don't get it.
Do you mean Potters?
No, just Graham.
Magic Potter. Dom, what was your prediction?
As I say, mine was the same for Brighton.
Oh, stay up. Craig, what was your knee-jerk Premier League prediction?
I mean, this is based on literally nothing. I just think Everton are going to have a poor season. Don't know.
Do you think there's hype? It's a Potter hype, is it?
It's a bit of a Potter hype with Everton, yeah. And I don't know. I've just got a sneaky feeling it's not going to work.
And what is a poor season for Everton?
Anything below 8th.
Where did you have them in your predictions?
I think I had them. I think it was 8th and a half, something like that. But I think they might finish low.
Do you know what though? I get what you mean. There's the same, like, the money's invested.
There's a bit of pressure.
The money's invested. They've got high profile players. Yeah. I think teams, when they go and play them, they see it as a huge game because it's a massive club. Yeah, exactly. So there is that, like we were talking about it with Stoke. It happened with QPR a few years ago. When you it's a similar thing. Like when you come down, you've got all these like names that people know. The other teams, they raise their game for it. It's a big game, and Everton are annoyingly haven't delivered in terms of the performances, but are a huge club. And I thought the same when I saw them draw against Everton. I did go
against Palace.
Palace team. I just thought it was a bit of a wind out the sail result.
Maybe.
But yeah, that knee jerk. It's knee jerk.
It is knee jerk.
I think all the Lampard stuff's knee jerk as well. It's kind of like, he's out. Lampard out. Pellegrini, what did I say? Lost 5-0.
Yeah. Good point. Steven didn't like that either. Yeah. Check out the tier list if you want to get angry. From Twitter, a few people say Jake Alberice. If he stays fit, Tyrone Mings will be in the England squad for Euro 2020. That's his knee-jerk prediction. Had a really good season last season, so we'll see. And Toro at LFC. Timu Pukki will finish top 5 in the Golden Boot this season.
No.
Sports.
Don't know if they're great enough, but he is good.
And we did put it out.
It's a good one though.
Yeah, we did put it out on Twitter asking any questions. There's loads of. I'll have a quick look in a second. But one, our boy Mike Sopper, he asked, "Does a good pre-season mean you have a good start to the league?"
No.
Thoughts?
No. Biggest myth.
No. Yes, it's one of the biggest myths. Although Leicester had a cracking pre-season when they won the league.
Did they?
Yeah, it's tore apart.
It does help, doesn't it? Of momentum.
I think. Do you know what I think is crucial is where you tour.
Yeah.
So
where's the best place to tour?
I'll tell you where. Neil Warnock knows. He takes the lads down to Tavistock every single year in Devon, and he wins 9-0, 8-0, 10-0.
Yeah, get a bit of confidence.
Confidence gets up, and he finish off with like a toughish one.
Play Tunbridge Angels and win like 19 more. Yeah, actually they are.
That's not how you bring in the bunts, though, is it? You got to get over. You got to get to Asia. You got to get to North America.
You should see the amount of Cardiff City shirts in Devon now. It's incredible.
Is it?
Yeah. I think it's where you tour is quite important for championship clubs and things like we always seem to go to Austria or Germany for some reason.
That's very popular, I think. Germany in particular for I guess a lot of championship clubs as well. But we had a couple of games in Germany as well. It's the place to be.
I think what can be said as well is how much you travel. Like I think that's a real tough thing for the top sides that they do. It's just a known thing now that you're going to have to go to America, then go to Australia.
It's more than one. It's not just you going to the US now. You're going to 2 or 3 places. We did Japan, but I think who did? Someone did Australia and did the US. I can't remember who that was.
United, wasn't it?
Also, don't you think?
Leeds.
I can't remember.
Leeds, what's that?
But it's the European sides as well. So particularly the likes of Barcelona and others. Their pre-season lasts longer than ours because their season starts a little bit later. But they play so many games and in so many cities across the world. It's balmy.
It has. That kind of travel, it does take its toll. It does
some effects.
Yeah, definitely.
Who was it? Was it Juventus toured in? I think it was South Korea, and I read an article that a club they played were suing Juventus because Ronaldo didn't get on the pitch, and he was contracted to.
Wasn't the club? Wasn't it like the fans or something? Yeah,
they bought tickets to Ronaldo. Didn't come on. They're suing Juventus.
Another thing that got sent to me, I just think it's amazing. Jay Hancock 44 just said this. He said, "Just read this headline." So this is the headline. It says, Andy Cannon on a 2-month trial living with Portsmouth teammate Tom Naylor after asking how to cook baked beans. Are we slightly concerned about our footballing youth? Like, it's a great last weekend that the amount of young players are coming through, but are they well-rounded individuals when someone who's on a trial is having to move in with someone else because he's unable to cook baked beans?
How old is he?
I have no idea. I'll have a look now.
I mean, it doesn't matter. You should know how to cook beans.
Some context. When did you learn to cook beans? How old were you?
It's one of those things you don't remember the day.
It
just happens, doesn't it? One day, I know what I could do today.
Well, and
fire it up.
I think both options you can't really get wrong, can you?
Yeah.
You put it in something, you turn a hob on, or
hobs. That's technical straight
microwave.
away. I mean, that's the level of how I learned.
Maybe you just put it straight in the microwave,
or even cold.
Have them cold.
I remember teaching Benjamin Murphy, mate at uni, how to make pasta.
Okay.
And I was like blown away. He just honestly had no clue. Like, read the instructions. Like, it's so basic.
Just didn't need to cook it though, did he? So
one of the easiest things. Bar pizza to make, isn't it?
What's that?
Bar pizza. That's one of the easiest things.
Yeah, I ate a lot of pizza at uni because it was just easy, wasn't it? Just chuck it in,
shove it in,
or just call them up.
Super quickly. What is we used to play? So me and Craig went to uni together. We used to live together, and we remember getting to a point where people you sort of associated dishes with people at university. So if you went to university, let us know in the comments below what was your uni dish. Because for us it was about, you didn't use bowls, you used a saucepan.
Washing up.
Oh yeah.
You're wasting your time washing up.
Yeah,
exactly.
Efficiency.
Yeah.
What was it? You normally have pasta. Is it pasta?
We had weird shit, didn't we? So it was like, what would you?
Pesto surprise.
Pesto surprise.
It was minced beef, pasta.
Terrible.
Minced beef.
Yeah.
And
mushroom, it was
mushroom, peppers, onions, just whacked in, and then there's too much pesto.
I love pesto.
I do it rice sometimes.
Pesto with rice.
Yeah.
Is that not risotto?
Put it in any carb.
Essentially, it was a risotto.
You put potato as well.
That sounds nice. I would have liked that.
Yeah, but mate, he was big on the the tuna with the jacket potato and a bit of salad. Yeah. Different people had different things, so let us know.
You know, we had a George Foreman grill that got a lot of usage.
By the end, it's just this.
It was
toasty.
It was disgusting.
You might as well just like burnt cheese on it.
Just throw it away and just get a new one for a tenner.
Moving up, like we lived together after uni, and so I think for you, I think crisp and dip.
I know exactly what you're going to say for me.
That's right.
Yeah, go and look in my cupboard and they'll be there.
Really? Which one? That cupboard?
The one behind the camera.
See if this actually happened.
Yeah.
Guess what it is. I guess it was.
I think I put it in there. There you go.
Still going.
You can't beat bagels.
You can't beat New York Bakery Company.
Yeah, I gave them up because I was having too many of them.
Right, we finish up with two things. Quickly look at the fixtures for the weekend, and we're bringing back Offside, which is some non-football related chat. Often delivered by Metro.
I thought you said by Dom, because he was Dom.
Dom does the advice.
Have you got one? Have you got one? Offside?
Offside, yeah, I've got one.
Brilliant.
Okay, so in terms of the fixtures, the thing with this with the fixtures is that when I look at them, apart from Arsenal, Burnley, which feels like a banker for Arsenal.
Hopefully, yeah.
Should be. And what else? Southampton, Liverpool, which you would expect Liverpool to win. I'm just going to run through these games, and I feel like they're really like level teams and level squads and where they might finish. And yeah, so let me know what you think about those two teams in terms of battling it out. So Aston Villa played Bournemouth.
Not much in it.
Not much,
especially with Aston Villa at home.
Yeah.
Villa will won. That one circles a win, definitely.
Who will finish higher in the season?
I think Bournemouth.
I don't know.
I think Villa will win that.
I think Bournemouth have got a better all-round team.
Got a good side.
They're a really good pressing team as well. I really rate them.
I like Villa there as well. I think both of those teams.
I don't think there'll be loads in it. I think Adam is 11th and maybe Villa is 14th. I don't think there'll be miles in it. But I think Bournemouth is slightly better.
Super Seagulls, battling for European glory. They take on West Ham.
Now, as well.
West Ham coming off a bad defeat. Brighton, good win. Kind of like balances it out a bit. Who do you see?
If Brighton win.
I get your point. A lot of these you wouldn't put any coupon, would you?
No. The accumulator is an absolute nightmare this week.
Yeah, I'd probably go. Yeah, you wouldn't know, would you?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Brighton. I reckon Brighton.
It's every single time.
I'm gonna go Brighton with that one.
Okay,
I think Brighton win that. And if they do, the press are gonna go into Potter overdrive.
So will you, won't you?
Amazing.
I'll start it. Yeah.
Everton, Watford.
I'll go Everton.
Yeah, Everton really need to win that.
Yeah.
Watford started poorly, didn't they?
I think they need
Watford got done 3-0
to the mighty Brighton. Which there's no shame in that.
But for me though, that if it did go the other way, I wouldn't go, oh. I wouldn't go, oh.
What the hell's happened here?
Yeah, what the hell's happened here?
The Marco Silva derby, of course.
Derby, up to you.
Absolutely. Newcastle.
Okay.
It's tough, isn't it? These are all really.
I reckon Norwich will sneak that one at home.
But that's the sort of game that Newcastle need to win.
Was quietly impressed with Joe Linton.
Yeah, I was too.
Yeah, and the whole Linton family must have been proud.
Ongoing gag between us. Yeah. Gareth Southgate was there looking at him.
Do you know when there's a player and he looks like he's an under 16 playing with under 12s? He looks a bit like that.
Yeah.
And so I like.
A few good touches there.
Yeah. I like the headband of Maximin as well. Great name. I think Norwich are going to win that handsomely, and that will shut up the people saying they were morons last week. Little dig at Rory there. Not totally above us. Southampton, Liverpool. I think we expect Liverpool to win that, even though it's away from home. Man City, Spurs.
I just want them to compete.
Cracking game. That's going to be.
The worst result possibly like 3-4 now.
I was in the cab with a Tottenham fan earlier driving, and he called it a free hit, and I think that's
depressing.
Free hit is that City?
As in City away is a free hit.
That's depressing. That Tottenham.
But I think there's a lot of truth in that. Like if you got a draw there, you'd be happy.
Yeah, away from home you take a draw.
Therefore, it's a free hit.
But at home they're expected to win.
At home, I think they would expect to win.
You want to get something from it.
I think it's sad that a team as good and who have invested that much are still thinking that. Like teams like Norwich more think free hit, Man City, but even Tottenham are thinking
the other because if you're saying contenders for a title, it's Liverpool and Man City, then it's Spurs, isn't it?
Yeah, too right. They should be on there thinking about we're famous. Well, we're looking to
have a chance.
They should be aiming higher there.
Okay,
they should be aiming higher. Well, they're fans at least anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think the score will be in that one?
2-1 City.
3-1 City.
Man City, obviously.
Score.
I'm getting depressed, but I reckon they were 3-0 comfortably.
I think it'll be 3-0, and I think that's a problem for me. Like I was like, we need some hope so we could do with we're all rooting for Spurs, aren't we? We're all rooting for Spurs. Then Sunday, Sheffield United Palace. Sheffield United at home.
Neil Warnock.
How do you supposed to think with that?
That goes in my
Warnock derby.
Why?
The Blades v the Eagles. The LES.
I fancy Palace, if I'm honest.
Do you?
Yeah. What do you think?
Sheffield
United. You say free hit. Sheffield United need to win that.
Yeah.
Like as the season progresses, like that's a big game. Yeah. I think Sheffield United will get the win.
Zaha will be back when he didn't start.
He came on. Yeah, he came on. Yeah. Chelsea Leicester. Again, I think a lot of people could make an argument that Leicester City squad is better.
That's the most intriguing game of the weekend.
We're going to find out in the
Chelsea at home under Frank Lampard. But I'd be more.
It's going to be bouncing. I think it's going to be great. His first home game. So I expect us to come out the blocks. So I think we'll win.
Okay. I expect you to as well. That you need to start and score. Don't you?
Yeah. We've got to score in the first half at least, if not first 15-20 minutes. Otherwise, it's. The question mark's going to be.
I think the thing for Leicester, I wonder if Leicester will be. I've hyped them up a hell of a lot.
They should just go for it.
But will they? Can they deal with that? A bit like we're talking about Everton. It's a similar thing with Leicester City. And then the Monday night game is Wolves versus Man United.
That'll be a cracking game.
Which is like Wolves at home. It's such a tough week, isn't it, for anyone?
I fancy Wolves at home. I think.
Big thing for Wolves is that extra day.
I definitely want to watch that
after the Thursday game.
Yeah.
And you don't know who they're going to play. Like they've got 4. They're 4-0 up, so they'll be fine with that. But I'm intrigued to see that with Wolves as well. The expectation that's on them, what they can do in
they've got a couple of new players as well. I haven't seen that Cutrone yet, but he's supposed to only gives them something a bit different.
Coffee, yeah.
And that's the thing with Man United as well for me is with Chelsea. Chelsea came and had a go. It was kind of a perfect team to play. Like they left gaps in behind, allowed them to counter attack.
As in we left gaps.
Yeah,
it was so naive, but
I don't think Wolves will do that. So they're a good side going forward, but they'll look to sort of soak it up and then counter attack themselves. So can Man United break down another team?
Be interesting.
We finish off with offside, which I haven't got the jingle yet, but basically it's.
Nah, left back's playing him on.
No, we didn't say offside.
Offside!
Nah, left back's playing him on.
Yes, indeed. So basically we go to often it's Metro weird if you're looking for some weird stories.
And
but I just thought for 4 middle class lads, 3 lads from Surrey. This was perfect, I thought.
Is this Metro weird? This
is Emma Brazell with some top-notch journalism.
Where's Ollie?
I think he's on holiday.
Ollie McAteer.
Yeah, Ollie McAteer. Yeah. No one knows who Ollie McAteer. Here's the headline: Waitrose shopper moans that too many seeds in bread ruined its character.
Its character
ruins its character.
That's what really dragged it.
What does it say? What's the exact quote?
So the reason I chose this is because of this first line after that, which said, "A Waitrose shopper made the most middle class complaint ever." And I think this is quite a middle class podcast, if I'm honest. 3 lads from Surrey.
We've got bagels as well.
We've got bagels on show. Yeah.
Bagels middle class?
No, really. No.
I'd love to know what's the most middle class. Are there any middle class footballing complaints? We'll read out the best ones next week. Or just generally, what's the most middle class thing you've ever said? Let us know in the comments below. Because I think there's loads of you out there. All right, we can all just laugh at us. It's fine. So a Waitrose shopper made the most middle class complaint ever after moaning that too many seeds had ruined the character of her luxury bread. The vexed shopper, said to be in her 50s, stormed to the customer stormed.
She didn't. That's a lie.
She didn't. No, bollocks.
Emma. To customer services hours after buying a £1.49 Jackson seeded bloomer in her local store in Cirencester, Gloucestershire, according to an onlooker.
An onlooker. Was Emma the onlooker, or
I don't know, but
she's getting it third hand.
Is she? That's good. She's getting it third hand. Is she the onlooker, or has someone gone?
Yeah.
Emma, you might want to come down here.
Yeah. Emergency services, can you pass me to Emma, please?
Yeah. Is that Metro weird? Get me Brazil. She presented the half-eaten 800. There's another thing, when you've got to pad out a story, this is the great thing about Offside and Metro weird stories, is they have to pad it out. So she presented the half-eaten 800 gram loaf.
Wait, what? She had a bite out of it?
Yeah, that's how you found out the character had been jeopardised.
She might have done that though.
With a handwritten note of complaint that named the bread not as good as it was 2 months ago. It read, "Quantity of seeds has increased over the last 2 months. Character of bread has now changed. Not as good."
And that's within a note. They were the words.
Slamming the bread.
She went for.
Yes. After grumbling to staff for 15 minutes.
So the person witnessed this was there for 15 minutes.
And, I think they probably timed it, and because Emma's got a great response time, she was there within 7 minutes.
She would have
flashing lights.
She was over.
Sorry, who's writing a note?
If you're going to shopper.
If you're going to complain, do it online these days. Come on.
Yeah.
Good point. Email.
If you're in the 50s, maybe.
Well,
really, it's not that old.
That's
Technology.
That's the point I was trying to make.
Not an ageist podcast.
After grumbling to staff for 15 minutes, the disgruntled woman was granted a refund and assured that Waitrose took her grievance seriously. Actually, she got her refund and then she went, "Oh, so we're done now." Well, I just don't feel like you're taking this seriously.
You know what it's going to get like that.
How do you do that?
Good.
The witness said...
Who is this witness? Yeah. I'm more intrigued by the witness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hanging around Waitrose.
Busy. I don't think you could get a more middle class complaint if you tried. Let us know. I went in to pick up a parcel at lunchtime and at first didn't take much notice, but after a few minutes I took a quick look at what was on the counter, and as I'm usually in and out after a few minutes, I've never seen anyone take such a firm view on seeds. The poor customer service worker had to hear the history of her bread buying. She added she had apparently been buying that loaf for years. She really did seem quite upset.
Fair enough then.
Sometimes you just got to move on and find something new.
You could present this story and almost go, okay, fair enough. So it's like a 50-year-old woman that's been going there for 30 years, a bit lonely. She always gets the same one. One day it just wasn't up to scratch. So no, this isn't good. Okay,
effective.
Could be that.
Yeah.
It's been twisted,
and now it's surrounded by ads.
Yeah,
isn't it?
I think the Metro. There's a new low for the Metro, isn't
this
there?
That is and Jackson's.
It's terrible.
Badge.
Yeah. But if you do try it, you will enjoy it.
Give it a try. Let us know what you think. Give us your reviews. Finally, I don't know how long she was there for, but she was there when I walked in, and I was still there 15 minutes later. If a company decides to change its recipe or get a bad batch, it's just one of those things. I'm quite bemused by the fact she ate half of it just to be sure. Wow, I mean,
you've got to try it.
You've got to
try it. So the character just wasn't there.
I enjoyed it. It was a middle class complaint. Have you seen or heard? Probably heard a middle class complaint at the football. Let us know in the comments below. We could do it next week. We finish up, Dom, with some advice. With some advice.
I have no advice.
Is back. Oh, you must do.
You always have
Well, I'll give you a second by doing the outro. So if you are new to the channel, James Lawrence Allcott channel, you enjoyed it, then first of all, let us know what you think in the comments below. Hit the like button because it helps, and subscribe to the James Lawrence Allcott channel. If you want to find us on iTunes or Spotify, just search Great Touch for a big dumb rat in his
nothing to say. Warn me.
And that's about it. Apart from, I did this every week. Apart from some advice from Dominic.
I haven't got any. But enjoy your week.
Good advice.
Here's some advice. Always have some advice.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week.